Hey everybody, this is Shane. I'm gonna do another video. I've been asked on how I do my charts, so I thought I'd do a video on how I customize it and see if you guys would like to do one yourself. So here we go. One of the first things I do is I usually go and give me more of a margin on this side. So you can go left click and go down to properties. And then right down here where it says right side margin, I usually put it around 200. And then I hit apply and you can see how much more that room. So now I can see walls, my levels, my flux levels and stuff a little bit cleaner right there. The other thing I do is I like to change the background color. So one of the things you can do, if you can't find a color that you really like in here, because you're only limited to what NinjaTrader provides, you actually can go to Custom tab and hit this black dark gray here where it gives you a value, and then you can go and bring over Excel and maybe highlight a few boxes like this, and then hit this I think it's a combined box merge is what it's called, and then you can go up to the paint bucket here and open that up and go down to more colors and then go over to custom, and now see you got these values, the same value as this. Now you can actually make your own color whatever you want by using this slider, and then you can see the color how it's gonna make it there. So that's how I can get some cool colors that a lot of people couldn't find on the NinjaTrader, saying, well, where'd you get that color at? So what you do is you can say, I like that color, so I can put in over here, I can put in 11. You got to make sure you get those decimal points in there. So it's easier probably just to go back here. So this is 89, right? And then just go over to the very first one. Type in 11, use the arrow key, and then back up here and go 48, and then you can hit apply, and now you can see that's that color. It's a little too blue for me. It does change. You can hit OK, and then now you can see that this blue color is probably not, it's pretty close to the same. So let's go bring that back here. Try it a little bit again. Hit the paint bucket arrow, go down to more colors, hit the custom tab, and let's go more of a, see if we can get a kind of a dark gray green maybe. I don't know, maybe this dark light blue would work. So let's go 0, let's see, 84. So 0 on that one, and then 64, and then arrow over, hit 84, and apply. That's not too bad. I kind of like that. So let's click that, and oops, I didn't highlight the right one, but you can just, so it kind of is the same color. So it's kind of a bluish dark green. So you can do this to any of the ones that are colored in here. So that's how you could change that color. And now you can also change the text, the color here. So if you don't like this caption color up here, is the color for these lines here. So I can show you a drastic change so you can see how different it is. So that's where you change that color at here. So I don't mind that caption color. It kind of works for me. So, and now you can change also the font if you like, which is here, hitting that plus label, hit the 3 little boxes here, and it will bring you up a regular font area. I don't mind, I like ABF narrow, FB, agency FB, and probably 12, which is what I probably had on here. It seems pretty good for me. It also changes the lettering here, as well as the numbers on the bar sizer. So that is pretty much all I use on that chart there. So one of the other things you can do add is the crosshairs. When you have your crosshairs out here, this is where the crosshair arrow is. So you can change whatever color you like. I'm a big fan of orange, so I kind of use orange. So anytime that this is not on, so now where my two crosshairs are, it's orange. So I can see where I'm at. So let's go on to let's go to the data series section here. A lot of people probably know where this is. So now this is where your orders are placed. So I always just hit markers only. I don't really care about if it's whatever colors those are. I don't change those. I do change this, the price marker. I change it to something kind of bright, and probably maybe cyan or yellow or something like that. Also the outline of the colors and the wicks. They've got theirs for the up bars is transparent. That's why it has an outline. So the outline is here. So you can change the outline of this bar in transparent. But I like more of a solid look. So my outline, I usually kind of do just a black. And for my down bars, I kind of use like a blue steel is what I'm into right now. And for my up bars, I use like a white smoke. And my wick colors, I like a total white. So, and then you can hit apply and you see how that looks. So that's where I'm sitting there. And that's pretty much all I do on this page. And then we'll go over to the indicators. One of the other things I do, there's no news pending, but I'll move that. But I usually like the DR reversal section at the top. So what you can do is click it to where you see little dots on there and highlight it. Now you can see a blue highlighting color there. Just all you have to do is drag and drop it up there, and it should move. There you go. So now we got that up there. So the deviation reversal, let's customize this. So what I do is I go over here to indicators. Let's open this up so we can see what we're doing. And then go down here to deviation reversal. So I keep with the same thing with my bars. So I'm going to use white smoke again for that. And for the red, for the down bars, I use my blue steel. And then this auto bar width, I'm not a big fan of the solid look, so I hit that defaults. And then I go down here, and now this is where you can change it. So I'd bring it down to maybe, let's go 14 and hit apply and see what that looks like. Okay, so now you have the bar, so let me close this down real fast. Now you can actually scrunch them up a little bit if you wanted them really tight, but since we got some room here, I'm going to make them a little bit thicker. So you can go back to the indicators, go back to the bar sizer, and this is where you're going to have to play around to what you like the best. I like it kind of a tight window, so we'll go with 20, see how that looks. So that's probably as big as I want to get on that, so I can actually crush this down a little bit and it looks pretty uniform to where I can see what's going on. Main reason I put the deviation reversal up here is I'm looking here at the chart, right? Instead of looking down to find out if I'm in compliance with something and then going all the way back up to hit something, I can actually just go right through and look. It's more of a flow thing for me, so I can see if, okay, I'm in a short trend right now, so if I get something here, I can actually hit this and go short. So that's what I do for that. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is probably get this all combined and start adding some stuff in here. The news, we can actually move the news right now and move it up here. So it's combined in here as well. And let's go into the news and let's customize that a little bit. So when the news is in there and it comes up, it's not so big. So I've got to go in here and find news. There's the news. And here you need to find the visual. No. Let's see, the font. That's where you change it right here. Click on that. And I always shrink it down to the lowest one, 8. And it will shrink it down quite well. So the box won't be so big anymore. I keep everything the same. I just change the font size on that. So now it's a lot smaller and it will fit in that little panel pretty well. So I only have one news on one chart. On all of my charts, I don't have them on every chart. So let's go and add some stuff that's not on here and make it look really busy on this chart. So I like to have, let's see, you put those on there. This elevator, don't need the exhaustion box, not that one, or pop print. That one I like. TBS, trapped order, ZOI detector. Those are all that ones. I think he had live ones, I thought too. Let's see. Okay, so that big volume score, live double detector, elevator detector, ZOI, and third bar sling. So now we'll apply all those. And now we're going to have like a mess all over our chart. And I'll show you how we're going to clean this up and make it look really good. Because how can you trade right here? It's just going to be highly impossible. And you can't see all these, right? So first thing I'm going to do here is, this is since I have a bar here, and this is my ZOI, and looks like clusters here at the bottom. So I can take this cluster. Oops. Let's see if I can drag this thing up here. I just need one of them. Let's see if I can. There we go. I'm going to put it right here above that. So now I got that sitting there. So now the trick is, I'm going to put this, which is 1, 2, third panel down. This is the 4th and 5th. So all these are going to go to the 3rd panel. So now I'm going to put them all on that. So the next thing we do is go to indicators. And we got to go down here to all those ones that we just added. And we need to go to the panel, and I'm going to put them on the third one. Just go through them all. It's time consuming. But you'll see my madness in a minute. And with them all on the same panel, I have not found a problem not getting filled or having any corrupt problems with this, the way I've done it. So, should have some music in the background, so you're not just listening to me breathe. Now that's the ZOI. We already had that on 3, and I accidentally put it on 4. So Don't want that. Because I like to have them, the live ones, come up and say you got something coming up. And then I like to see where they are in real time too. If I miss something, so I can go back and look at it. Or when we're listening to in the room. So I'll hit apply. Now this should clean all that up a lot. So might have messed up one of them or two. So hopefully not. Okay, so there. Oops. Okay, so there we go. We got all those stuck inside here. And we still got these where you can actually go like that with it. And you can actually bring that down. And then I usually get rid of all the lettering because I don't need to be told what they are. And so now we kind of got a little bit better look of it. So there's still some more work we need to do in here, as in on these boxes here, which actually trigger off the TA. So I like to combine both of these boxes as well. So I like to make all the red ones go into there'd be the fourth panel. So let's do all that right now. So back to indicators. So this is the little tricky part. So each one of these market plus on here. So let's see if that one's. So that's panel 5. So I want that at panel 4. Anything that says 5, we're trying to get down to 4 panels only. So that's all I'm changing on this. You can tell it's red. So the red's on 5. So, and then I go back, just keep on clicking on and find all the ones that are 5 and put it on 4. It'll still do what it needs to do. It's just sharing a panel. That's all. And it's kind of tedious, but you do this enough, you can get really good at it and maybe get really creative. And you got a favorite football team, maybe you can choose their colors and trade off of it. So I don't like really dark black in the high contrast to something light, so I try to find something besides the green. It reminds me too much of school. It's like a chalkboard, the ones that Daryl has in templates. So I thought this blue is a little bit more soft to look at. So I think that's all the ones, so we can hit apply. So once you got that in there, we can actually crush that and actually make it disappear out of the bottom, and you won't even see it anymore. So it gives you actually even more room. So what I mean by that is, let me close this. You can grab this and just disappear. See, it's all gone. And you got all this extra room. And now here we can we can start customizing these colors, so you can color code them any way you want and make your own sheet for it. So let's go into and get these indicators for the live TA trade indicators here. So we got all the ones we added down here at the bottom. So all the live ones are the ones that are going to be coming on the bottom, and they'll trigger, and the ones that happened will stay at the top. So any of these ones, so this label, all these words here, you can do it. I don't know if Daryl will get mad about this, but I kind of get it out of my hair. That's the first thing I do. And then for TX detector, actually I don't really use the TX detector. So I'm going to get rid of this one. Okay, let's try the elevator. I don't use the TX detector. You guys can do it if you want to. So let's get rid of the label. Let's go into the color value. And this is, I believe, where you can make the bar bigger after it forms here. My elevators, I usually color them red. So, and I think I put it as like 10 or something like that. Let's see if I can get one of them to show up here. And I don't see one of these yet, so there must not have been an elevator on there. But we'll go through my ZOI detector. So if there's ZOIs, I try to keep it the same color concept so I don't get confused. They'll either do light turquoise or purple for star 4. And so again, with the labeling, I just hit delete and get rid of it because it's not important to me right now. So, and for purple, we'll go down here, orchid, put 10 here, a TBS, label, and then my TBSs, I use like a pink or a fuchsia. Since I work for T-Mobile, it's T-Mobile pink. 10. And then the ZOI, I'll do like a turquoise. Of some sort, like this. Make that a 10. And get rid of the label. And clusters are yellow, so I'll stay with the clusters. It is yellow. Let's see if any of those turn. It might be the live ones that actually get different colored, but I think it might have it. I don't know. There you go. So we have a double cluster, you have a ZOI. This black line, that was, what did I do? That was on this one, so we don't need that. We need to put that back down to 1. That's what that was. So on the width of it should be here. So put that back to 1, because that's that black line here on the double cluster. So hit apply. Let's change that back around. Okay, so now you can see that all our lettering is kind of disappearing, so it kind of gives you a clean look of what's going on here. So now the live ones, I kind of like to put, let's see, this is a TX detector. I don't usually use TX because I think there's a lot of them there. I guess I got carried away when I was adding them. But the double TX I do. The double TX, I usually make those orange. So, potential, I just do both. I just make them orange. You can change your color code to whatever you want it to be. I think that black line is, let's see, make that 10. I don't even know if there's a double TX on the sheet right now. Let's close that and actually look. See if I got this going. So there you go. You can see some orange there. So you can see what I'm trying to do. It shows the colors and basically it lines up. So got a double TX here, so the orange showed up. Alright, let's put this back so it's not so squished. Alright, get back into the indicators. Finish this up down here. So we're back to the elevator. Elevators, I usually do red. And ZOIs were purple. Dark violet. I keep on forgetting to put the label, forgetting to get rid of them. Okay, I gotta go back to the elevator. I don't think I got that one. And that one's that one. And the third barred sling is our pink. Might have misquoted myself earlier, but I'll have to go back and check. Yeah, I'm still using that. Okay, so the third bar. Okay. 10, get rid of these. Alright, and hit apply. Well, let's hit OK. Because it will take this window down. It's going to close it anyway before we go over the next section. Okay, now it's rendered. So now I should have... I still got big volume clusters. I got to clear those. But you can see how it all kind of colors up for you. And so that way you can see if it missed, and if you got a potential one, it will come right down here on the bottom, and then it will move to the top. So, alright. So let's go in, and I changed these up a little bit too. So let's do the bar sizer here. So go down here to V2 bar sizer. So I usually start with the one that's, let's see, it should be, okay, it's the one tick offset, okay. So the one I usually put, I just use white smoke for my colors. Now you can do any color you like. I just prefer the way I like it. And this is just me telling you how to customize it. And I like the one-on-one there. I like to change this. I like the text on, the diamonds markers on. So that puts a little diamond there. My diamond size I usually use around 6. I make this about 12 and about 70 for the last. Okay, and I'll show you what that looks like. It's going to kick it off to the right out in that margin area. So I like it out here, and so I usually put my other ones above here. So I like it to where I know where it's in my margin and I can see all my levels, and if there's anything in the way, I don't like any of the stuff maybe in here cluttering things up. So let's go to the next version, the next V2. This is 5. Okay, since we're using MNQ here as a chart, so I'm just making sure the settings were right. So in this one would be the green. I like a little bit brighter. I put green on both sides. On this one, this is where your take profit's going to be, right? Once this bar closes past this, it's where your take profit will be, and you need to make sure that, you know, your take profit is on that line or before major level or something like that. So I don't like the text on because I don't care about the price. I can just put my take profit on the line. I like a diamond on it, and I believe I still go with the 6, and let's see, 30 and 20, and I'll hit apply and show you that. So what this is going to do is it's going to come more to the left of the price, the first one we did. So basically it has like my take profit, and we're going to do the same thing with the other one as well. So we can go up here and hit those 2 plus signs. Now this one I usually make yellow because this is the caution. So I want to make sure that I don't have any obstructions within my caution area. Again, with the text, I turn that off. I turn the diamond on, so I get these diamonds because I think they look kind of nice. Make them around 6, and we're going to do 30 as well, and 20 here, and hit apply. And that's how I do my bar range, so you can see how it's all set up. I got my price. I know where my orders are going to be. Easy to place right on it. So let's go down here and see what else. So we got the oscillator, so we can go in here. And since I'm using a dark background on black, it's really hard to see some of these things. So I like to have the percentage on. I change this to maybe a gray, and there's an offset that I like. So the label offset, it's kind of smashed in here, so I might put it like 15, and let's see if that gets it up a little bit higher. And it should put the percentage on there as well now, and change my black ones to silver. So now I got silver. It's kind of above all these other ones, which I can change these numbers when I go into the OP section. So, but that's far enough away to where I can actually see that. I bet there's a way you can actually change the size of this too. Let's see if there's a visual scale. Yeah, I don't see that. I'll have to look that up to see if you can actually change that. Oh, it's probably right here. Font labels. So you can go here, and I bet you can just go right down to about 8 or 9. Let's see what happens there. And hit OK. It didn't hit OK, so. Cue the music. There we go. That's a lot better. So now it's not so big and bold. But that's where you go change your size for that. I might just raise it just a little bit more. I might make that, let's try 20. I feel like I should be talking to somebody. Alright, so I think 20 is pretty good because now it gives you enough room to between the number of the reversal bar, and now you can actually see what's going on there. And if you want to change the font and mess around with that, you can totally just hit those 3 buttons again and maybe make it the same thing as that I have on here and see what happens. It might actually get a get a little bit easier to read, or might work a little bit better. This is set at bold too, so you might want to take it off of bold. I think I'm going to take mine off of bold. I don't like bold. I'll just go regular. Hit OK. Another apply. I'm glad I have a fast computer, but still, I have all my other charts open right now as well. Alright, so that's a little too small. So we'll add it. We'll go to at least 11, and then I'll fix it later. But you get the gist of what's going on there. You just got to play around with it. Don't be afraid. Just get in there and mess around with it, because all else fails, you just have to start all over with a new template. Okay, I like that, so I'm good with that. So let's go down. That's pretty much all I use on that one. Deviation levels, I don't change it because it kind of works with my scheme. The colors are okay with me. It's just that thin blue line. If you want to add it thicker, you just change this opacity, and the line width is right here. So if you wanted it bigger, and these are for each one of the levels, so you can just scroll through and change at will. On the ice zone, I do add the histogram, which is on here. The opacity is at 40. I kind of drop it down to about 20, and maybe change. That's pretty much it. I might change the opacity if it gets too bright. The opacity, the histogram is the volume you see that kind of is laid up on the side here. So, and it's set to default, so let's turn that on. So now maybe I can show you what it looks like. And then you can set your opacity to where it's kind of fades out there a little bit. It kind of helps to see how far things might go. It might take a while to load in here, but maybe I'll zoom this up a little bit bigger. Yeah, it might take a while to load since this is Thursday night. Oh well, we'll come back to it. Maybe it'll come back. There we go. So it's kind of blue, and it might wash out some of the other levels. So let's go back in there and actually turn that down even further. So let's go back to there and drop this down to 10. Let's see if we can see it. Again, it takes a while for it to load, so again with the music, if we had any. So it should pop in here anytime, but until then we can move on to something else. So ICE current price level. So right now he's got it on the template as black. It's the black dotted line. I try to match it with my cursor. So I kind of did a cyan. And you can do, it's on a dash right now. You could do a smaller one. I like little dots, and maybe down to a 2. And then I can hit apply again. Now you don't have to hit apply. You can go through all these settings before you hit apply. I just like to go to apply and actually look at it to see what it looks like. So now I got this fine little dots, and I saw the opacity come in. I mean the histogram come in there with the right opacity. I might even take it down a little bit further. It's up to you. But Dodger Blue looks pretty good. I think that is pretty much it for this whole how I do my charts. So okay, so here's the opacity. So I can kind of see my lines, but I don't look over here to look at my lines because my lines are over here, and it really doesn't creep out here very often. But you could take it down or change it to a different color, but I think I'm going to leave it just like this. The next thing we'll do is we'll go in the OP, and I change a few things here. So just the colors, I think the boxes are a little too thick. I like them a little bit more defined. Anyway, I'll do that in a second. So let's go over to the OP. So it's the first one that always comes up here. So I usually just start at the very top. And I only change basically a few things in here. So the absorption, these are they look fine to me right now. So the bar control I don't touch. Let's see, clusters, I like them bright and yellow. They're kind of gold right now. I turn them to yellow. Block orders for if you have ES, this is not ES, this is MNQ, but block order should be 250, so you change it right there. And then you can change the color if you like. Some of the block orders I like just red and green. I don't touch any of that. Don't touch that. Exhaustion boxes here I do change, because to me they're a little thick. So I like to change it up a little bit. And I like prominent colors, obviously. And I drop that down to 1. And it will get really thin. And we'll show you that in a minute. And balance, don't touch that. Leading volume, I don't touch that. I change this to like a pink. Just show me that I have a mini magnet coming. Momentum stars, they look pretty good for me right now. And the spacing off of this is pretty good too with the numbers. Pause I don't touch. Total volume I don't touch. Don't touch much on here either. Zones of interest, I keep all the same colors so I just keep it that way. These are all set to go off and tell you what you want. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Hit apply and OK here. I'll just close it with the other once it comes back. Okay, so now it's all built. So I don't get rid of these. To get rid of those words are a little bit more difficult, so I've just kept it in there. They don't really bother me. Oh, I forgot to get rid of the big cluster, but I know where to get rid of that at. So the next thing you do is you go down here to templates, you go down to save as, and name it whatever you want. And I'm going to call this MNQ Mongo chart. And if you haven't noticed, my nickname is Mongo, and you'll see me in the room, Shane/Mongo. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for hanging with me and learning how I do my charts. Anyway, if you have any questions, hit me on Skype.